Several years ago, Akash's parents found a photo of a vineyard, put it up on the wall, and said, let's do this one day. Fast forward, they did it. They had a dream. They found the property and bought it, named it Akash after their son, and said to him, do what you wish with this property. And he turned it into an amazing winery called Akash Winery. And I and Dustin had the opportunity to sit down and talk to Akash. It was the third stop on our epic SoCal sidecar wine tour, where we actually rode on the sidecar of a motorcycle and went to 3 different wineries, and Akash's was the last stop. You might be able to tell a little bit. I had some wine during this interview, but hey, it's Crystal Uncorked, and it was such a lovely interview. Very inspirational. And if you're watching this video, you'll see that we're actually sitting in the vineyard, which is so cool. So be sure to follow Akash Winery on Instagram, aka shwinery.com. That's their website. Be sure to check them out. Check out their wines. They're excellent. And let's dive into this episode. Hello, I'm Crystal Vilkaitis. I'm a curious, wine-loving entrepreneur who loves to learn and have open and honest conversations. Join me and my amazing guests as we talk about all sorts of relatable business and life stuff. It's my goal that you'll have fun, learn something new, and get inspired. Wine is not required, but is recommended. This is Crystal Uncorked. Akash, thank you for being on Crystal Uncorked. This is amazing.
No problem.
First of all, cheers.
Cheers.
Your wine has been my favorite of the 3 wine tastings that we've been on.
Thank you.
I'm drinking a blend right now.
Unfortunately, I'm not drinking wine. I'm drinking
That's okay.
nicely crafted
That's
beer.
okay.
It takes a lot of beer to make wine.
That's all right. It's that can be uncorked too. Okay, so Crystal Uncorked is all about conversations over wine and beer.
Yeah.
We love it here. What made you start this winery?
This started from an idea my parents brought home 20 years ago. We started in the motel business in the 70s, far before I was born. My parents started that in a small little town in New Mexico. Fast forward a little bit, they built that over the years, and then we moved out to Orange County, and my dad said, well, we need to buy a motel out here. Then we were going to buy a motel here in Temecula, just on the Jefferson, and deal didn't work out. My dad saw a little glimpse of wine country in the year 2000, big lover of wine, and he was out here dining, hanging out, and said, wow, why don't we get something out here and do something like this in the hospitality business? So then he brought home a painting of a vineyard, put it up on our living room wall, took a photo of his last project of a motel that he built, pasted it onto that painting, and told me and my mom, let's do this one day. Then we started coming out here more and more and more. Over the next 10 years, we were trying to find the perfect plot of land, and then 2010 rolled around, and we actually found this 20-acre parcel. It was for sale, and there was nothing on it. It was just a dirt patch. The main road wasn't even paved. There was no utilities or anything, and we had zero knowledge in this business. But we
had a dream.
Yeah, we had a dream.
Yeah.
My dad had a dream. My mom had a dream, and we bought the property. And then my dad left it into my hands. He named it after me and said, "It's up to you to figure everything out and learn about this if you wish. If not, we'll just put a home, put some vines up, and sell the grapes." But the more and more I came out here, the more I fell in love with this. And what's not to fall in love with? If this is your dream job, I mean,
seriously,
this is it. And so I've seen where my parents have came from nothing in their pockets, and built such a nice empire. And so every day I'm just trying to work as hard as they have in their life and develop something that everybody wants to come to, a cool little place to have fantastic wine. And now we're brewing our own beer too, so that too.
You've done a great job.
Cheers to the beer.
Cheers. Oh yeah, of course. Dustin's behind camera with beer, of course. Yep.
It's very good. It's very good.
Okay, so when did you open?
We opened up July 27th, 2019.
July 2019. Okay, so your world probably got flipped upside down a little bit. It's like new business, it's go time, it's it's Temecula. There's a lot of wineries here.
Yeah.
So that you have competition. How did you sustain? Like, how did you go through the COVID wave and here today?
Well, that was definitely the biggest shocker and everything that happened to us. It took us 9 years to get open. Finally opened 6 months later.
Closed.
The world is shut down.
Right.
Everybody was affected, not just us. What I did is I just went back to my roots, work harder than ever. And we had to lay off everybody that we hired. And me and one other person in our back office, we basically did everything from start to finish. We promoted the place. I started delivering wines to people's homes that next day.
Wow.
It was a Sunday, March 16th, won't forget it. We shut down. That Monday, the 17th, I was starting to deliver wine to people's homes. And I did it personally. We promoted it on social media. It caught like wildfire, and it was cool. People kept buying wine. I was delivering it. They loved it. We were shipping wine. Then we started doing a lot of virtual stuff. Started collaborating with people in the valley who have been affected. No matter if it was a restaurant, just a food vendor we have here on the property, or another winery. We did it all. We collaborated. We collaborated with Peltzer Winery down here. We had a bundle pack together. Other food vendors, we did virtual tastings and pairings and got people involved at home so they could buy wine and enjoy delicious food or snacks and try to make it as fun as possible time during that. Everyone's sitting at home and just hanging out.
How can we be a part of your home?
Exactly. And that was my thing, is how do we still be a part of people's homes? And we did that. Wasn't the most glamorous thing, but it's what we did what we had to do, and we also learned a lot from it. I tell people there's a huge silver lining in what happened in this whole thing. We got to restructure our business, and we just opened up, which was, not everybody gets to do that. Once you kind of start and your flow is going, that's your flow. And for that to kind of stop everything, and then you get to sit and rethink, well, how do we start reflowing? And then now with all the new safety protocols in place for employers, employees, and the general public, we had to implement all these new strategies. And I think, not that what happened was for the better, but we got to become better from it.
Yeah. And early on, because I think the businesses that were, at it 10, 20 years, this is how we do business. It's harder to turn that ship around because you've been doing it for so long. 2019, it's like, okay, we're kind of getting in a rhythm, and now things change a lot. So now you're here. We did the SoCal cycle tour. You're our last stop. We pull up, it's packed. I feel like you're doing something right. You have great wine. What do you think is bringing people to you?
Well, first thing for me, that's the most important thing, is quality of wine and viticulture, and now brewing. Our product is us, and it has my name on it. So that's one thing from the beginning, was if I'm putting my name on something, my personal name, I want to make sure that we are doing our absolute best to make the best product we can with the resources we have available. And I think from the start, when we did that, people saw that, and everything else came after. The nice building and the nice furniture and all that came after. But if you came here 5 years ago when we weren't even open, if you drove up, I was still just pouring our quality wine that we had made over the past few years, and people slowly started to follow that, hey, they're making quality stuff. And we were just a tin shed with no AC, no electricity. And people started joining our wine club. So that's how it all unraveled, and that's the recipe for success, is quality product. And then behind the bar, we have to make sure we're full of hospitality and welcoming service, and willing to take that extra step to make sure everybody's having a great time. And that you're in a great environment. Experience is everything.
Yes, especially now, I feel like. And you have amazing behind the bar staff that we got to meet. We love them. What would you say is a highlight for you in running this business?
That's a great question. Giving people an opportunity to celebrate with our product. That's what they're here to do. You have smiling faces. They have hundreds of choices. They can go cheers their glass and celebrate their moments anywhere else or with someone else's product. But to see that gratification, it's I know that's how we're doing something right. People here to celebrate with our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful. So Dustin loves the bottles. I love the bottles too. It's not just Dustin. It's very unique. You don't have a label. What do you do with your bottle?
We etch everything onto there. So a lot of design work has to happen, and a lot of planning has to happen between myself, my winemaker, and the various companies we use from our glass to our etching services to make sure we etch them perfectly. I feel like, why stop at just the wine? Let's give people more.
Yes.
Cool bottles, cool shapes, great labels, fun labels, more than just one.
Yeah.
And I think that entices people to be attracted to our brand a lot more too. And it's fun to talk about it. It's also a conversation starter when you have those fancy bottles, cool, beautiful artistic design that, again, my name's on it, so I want people to see that.
Right.
Everything's subtle, but then you have those little flares that say this is Akash, and that's what I want people to see.
Yeah.
From
Experience.
the logos, the bottles, to even the name of what we name our wines. It has to be fun, interactive, has to fit the program. So we think a lot about it, and I love to have. That's where I love to just get crazy with.
Yeah. Well, we can tell. I mean, you've done a great job. So speaking of name of wines, the Brose, right?
Brose, yeah.
Brose. Tell us about that, because Dustin was very excited about that.
Well, we've been making a rosé for a few years now, and people have been making rosés for years, but it's always had this negative connotation that men shouldn't drink rosés, or men say, oh, I don't drink the pink stuff.
Right.
So my thing is, well, we make a fantastic dry rosé that anybody should love, no matter the gender. And so I said, you know what, let's name a rosé after that and make it manly, give it a manly approach, give the label a manly look, and the taste profile a little more manly. And that's what we did. And then we were searching for a name, and then Brose just popped into the head, and it was the winner. We had some other ones, but they were a little bit more vulgar, I would say.
I bet. I can
Brose
see it.
was the...
Brose is like perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so our listeners are all sorts of people. They are business owners, they're retailers, some carry wine, they're moms, they're all sorts of people. What would you leave our listeners with, any kind of parting advice as a business owner today, in today's world? Just crushing it. Crushing it with the grapes is a perfect little thing to say. But you are doing a fabulous job. Seriously, I love your wine.
Thank you.
Any parting advice?
Go after it. Don't be afraid. You're going to fail. It's guaranteed that you're going to fail. But getting back up, not making the same mistake twice, and even if you do, so be it. Even if it's a $30,000 mistake, a $100,000 mistake, get back up on the horse. Keep going. Things will work itself out as long as you put hard work into it, because people will gravitate, the energy will come from that, and if you do that, things will fall into its place.
And I feel like as long as you are authentically you, because I feel like you care so much about this brand because it's your name and you want that to come through, and it's you.
Yeah, that's another thing is taking ownership, pride of ownership, and that's what I try and preach even to our team members who work here. It's be prideful. Yeah, we're all here for a common goal, and that's to be successful.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
you've done a
so
great
much.
job. Thank you so much. Cheers.
One more question.
Dustin's question is like, how'd you get the balls to have a winery here in Temecula? Because there's like 40 wineries here. People can be like, oh, there's so many things going on there, I will move on. What made you say yes to here?
Well, great question. I don't feel there's any competition. We're all neighbors. We all work together. We're all promoting this valley.
Yeah.
And the biggest factor of all is there's 20 million people in a 1 hour and a half drive to this destination. There's breweries, there's nightlife, there's Pechanga Casino Resort.
Right.
There's 50 wineries. There's enough to go around.
Yeah.
There's enough people coming to this area. The 15 freeways jam-packed.
Right.
There's a lot to go around. There's enough for 50 more to come.
Yeah.
And it is coming.
For sure.
So you know, there's no competition. Everyone's got enough to get, and there's more to come. People are just finding out about us, and we welcome. We want more wineries. We want more prestige out here.
Yeah.
We want to be known on the valley. We want the outskirts of the Temecula region, like Duluth, Fallbrook, Warner Springs, those to grow. Then we become a larger scale on the map, and we already have the reach.
Yeah.
So much larger than any other wine region in the world.
Yeah.
There's more people that can come here in that short of a time for a weekend getaway or a one-day trip.
Right. You're in a good spot.
Yeah.
I once heard if somebody wanted to open an Italian restaurant, it was like, oh, there's too many Italian restaurants, and they never opened it. But you have. Imagine your favorite Italian restaurant, and they never opened. Imagine your favorite winery, and they never opened. Like, I'm glad that you are doing this. This is definitely one of our favorites.
Yeah.
We just met you today.
Yeah.
But seriously, great wines. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. How do people want to follow you? Instagram, website? Where do we want people to go?
Everything. You name it. We're on it. YouTube, social media, Facebook, Instagram, website, newsletter.
Yeah.
We do it all.
We're linking to it all. So please do yourself a favor. Follow. If you are here locally, you must. This is like don't even think about it. Attend a tasting. Is that what they say? Attend a tasting. Come see Akash and his amazing facility and people here. Cheers.
Cheers.
We love the wine, and we'll see you on the next. See you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Are you on Instagram? I'd love to see pictures of you listening to the show, a screenshot of your favorite episode, and or your favorite wines. Share them with me. Just follow and tag @Crystal Uncorked. I can't wait to see you there. All right, I'll see you on the next See You.